Check it out. Most of you are familiar with Rob Van Dam, the WWE Super Hall of Fame wrestler, OG, Triple OG. Well, listen, a lot of people don't know that he is a proponent of cannabinoids and marijuana and CBDs. The reason for that is because he's sustained injuries over the years, many injuries. And he's tried every product and every brand, and finally he came across one that worked really well for him. He actually wanted to partner up with them, and he did. So now he has his own brand, RVD CBD, and it works really well. I like the gummies myself, and they help. I wake up in the morning with less pain. I sleep really well. It's actually, they're very, almost miraculous. The research is there. Feel free to Google it and look it up. Go to his website, RVD CBD, and use promo code Gunner10 to save 10% off. Trust me, the stuff works. Check it out. Spend a minute, spend $1. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. What's up? Welcome back to another episode of My Thing, Tales of a Reformed Gangster. And this is an office edition with a special guest. Well, I had a special guest. He's back. Now, some of you might know this guy is RVD, Rob Van Dam, or I might have known him from this show. He's been on my show before, and we had a nice chat about his whole career and how he became awesome. So, I just want to congratulate him. We're going to talk about something in a minute, CBD, his line of CBD, and this is important. I want you guys to listen. But I do want to congratulate him, too, on record for his he got put in the Hall of Fame. The WWE Hall of Fame. Doesn't get any bigger than that. If you're a professional wrestler and they put you in that, you are literally a superstar. So congratulations to that. And well done, bro. Hard work pays off.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's the standards that you want to make right there, you know. So
yeah, for sure. You did
it. Up till that point, it can be considered subjective. But the Hall of Fame, bro, there's no denying.
No, right. So, yeah, like you said, cool. It could have been, like you said, subjective. It could be, it's just a matter of opinion. This guy likes him, but this guy doesn't, or that guy likes him. And of course, he's got a big fan base. And a lot of people love him. He's a great wrestler. He's a great entertainer. And he's also a really great character in real life. He's one of the coolest guys I know. Just chill, laid back, humble, nice, just approachable. Very honest. And so all those are very endearing features that you don't get from just anyone, especially somebody who's like a WWE Hall of Fame wrestler. And I think that's part of his shtick. Part of his shtick was, and we talked about this on the show before, was that he was always going to be himself. They're not going to script something and give it to him and say, act like this, start this beef with that guy, do that. He's like, no, I'm just going to do me, my style of wrestling, my personal character. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. Well, it turned out they liked it. They liked it a lot. So God bless them. And another thing is, I'm making him brand ambassador for Our Thing Apparel. So currently, as we speak, my printer is knocking him out a box of stuff, some for his girlfriend, his beautiful girlfriend. And I'm going to make them both brand ambassadors. And I can't wait to see him in it, man. I got some special things just for him going on. And so it'll be cool, which leads me to segue. So I don't want to I know your story. A lot of people don't. We won't get into the whole story, how you became a wrestler. That's kind of, everybody knows, or people know it. They want to know it. It's easy to Google it up. He had quite a journey. And I say he's one of these guys that has lived a charmed life. For whatever reason, God said, I'm going to bless you. And I think it's just because he has a good heart. He's a good man. And everything he sets his mind to, he accomplishes, and he does it. And you got to respect that. You got to just say, man, you got to applaud a guy who's able to do that, make his dreams come true and live this dream life. He's a successful career, beautiful home out in Las Vegas, beautiful girlfriend. They're just amazing life. So God bless you and thanks. I want to get into your CBDs now. So there's a story behind these CBDs. Okay. He's made me a brand ambassador for his CBDs. And the thing is, I'm like one of these guys. I'm not going to promote something that I don't believe in or it doesn't know if it works. It's not gonna. I mean, it's not worth it to me. So I said, send me some stuff and let me see how it affects me. I have chronic migraine headaches. A lot of people know that. I have these headaches. They're from a condition called trigeminal neuralgia. The nerve in my face, the vibrations of my voice cause it to get aggravated, and it makes me get like a sinus headache, pressure. And I live with it and it doesn't go away. So I'm always trying new things. Well, I did try some CBD before, some oils, but it wasn't as strong. I tried it, for a week or two, really no effect. So I was kind of skeptical a little bit. It's just another CBD. But he said to me, Gunner, these are stronger and much more potent than anything that's been out there. just give it a shot. So I said, okay, he sends me a box of this stuff. Even I did do a drop of the tincture too. So I try it right away. I try it. Me and my wife tried it. And then notice right away, like usually I wake up with this pounding headache. First thing I do is drink a shot of kratom. This could knock my headache away. I woke up feeling like I don't need kratom right now. I'll wait till I need it, you know, and then later on, if I start talking and whatever, the headache kind of kicks in, then I'll stick a shot of kratom. So I started doing it before bed. I noticed I slept better. And here's another thing. The little aches and pains that come with age, he knows about them. Trust me, he's a wrestler. I'm sure he deals with them too, all the injuries. But you wake up in the morning, if you work out and you're like, this tweak here and a little bit of that hurts and back's a little bit. I noticed that it was much less, not just a little less, but significantly less. And I'm like, wow, these things are freaking really working. So I want to have him on to tell kind of the evolution of how he came to own a brand of CBD and like, what's the science behind it? Because I don't really know it like him. It's fascinating and it's complex, but he knows it. He's a smart dude. He's studied it. He learned it. It's a science. I'm gonna let him share it.
Very happy to. And I always have been, you know, like CBD does come from the same plant that people are smoking marijuana from. You know, a lot of people are confused about that. You know, you can grow the plants different. You know, if you just take a marijuana plant and just separate the CBD from it, there's not going to be enough. You want to grow it to be CBD dominant, you know, and by the time you're dealing with the CBD that's in the market, depending on whether it's broad spectrum or full spectrum, zero. Mine has 0 in it, which means it's broad spectrum, 0 THC, and full spectrum. It could have anything. It could be a 50-50 combo. All the cannabinoids are in there. And by the way, the plant has over 100 different elements to it that we call cannabinoids. And I've always known that. And I've always been not only anxious to share what I knew about the plant, but I've also always been using anything at my disposal to get the plant available to people who it could help since like the early 90s, you know. And I was considered kind of crazy back then for doing it because people thought they should be smoking cigarettes, you know.
Right.
They really did. People were smoking cigarettes, pot shaming me, and I'm trying to tell them, no, society has you fooled. The cigarettes are going to kill you.
Yeah.
Marijuana is actually going to extend your life expectations. And that's something people don't know about. And that might still be a little bit too far out there for people to handle, but soon they'll find out that their longevity is increased with cannabis. And a very good friend of mine and one of the OGs on cannabis and certainly on hemp was Jack Harrer. That's a brand of weed. A lot of the young kids know, even though they don't know how to say it. They say hurrah or hirara, you know, but it's Harrer, like terror. Yeah. He's a friend of mine. And he was a real dude. And he had a book that he would update every year. And he would just give it to people because he wanted everyone to know that this is the most resourceful plant on the entire planet. You know, and you can do anything from it. It could replace 80% of everything. You know, Henry Ford made a car, introduced it to the World Fair in 1941 out of hemp. The car's made out of hemp, and it ran on hemp seed oil. So he wanted us to be self-sufficient. We could grow our own shit in our backyard, our own stills. And obviously that's not the way our economy works. You know, it's all about money, greed. And it always has been. But the more I knew about that, the more I wanted people to know. Now, you don't have to know about all that to understand CBDs. The easiest way I can explain it is it's always been illegal to study marijuana. And so we've always been very limited on what we knew. We just never got you high. Now we're able to separate all these different cannabinoids and find out how we react in different ways to them, and putting them together with different combinations and stuff. it could replace the entire pharmaceutical industry, which is one of the reasons that it's been prohibited for so long.
Right.
Because big pharma does not.
They're against that. They're against that
for sure.
Just like they're against the kratom. It's the same thing. They are losing money. So I've heard other people say what you're saying that the CBD in hemp plant, marijuana plants, can replace a lot of pharmaceuticals, things for depression and anxiety, stress, pain, and on and on and on. And they don't want you to know that stuff, because obviously if you don't know that, you're going to go like me. I got to go to see my neurologist, every 3 months and pay him an office visit. Then he gets me my prescriptions and I got to go pick them up. And Big Pharma makes, billions and billions of dollars. It's just like the COVID vaccine. It's a moneymaker. That's it. And so you discovered you through your study and research that this stuff really works. So how did you do it? Did you start trying it yourself, CBD, or was it from smoking weed, or what was your, experience?
Okay. So first, before we ever even heard of CBDs, all this knowledge was out there that was a direct contradiction to what we were taught in school. And with THC is a big part of what helps people too, depending on what the circumstances. Yeah, exactly. But years ago, people started accepting, if you have glaucoma, that if you smoke marijuana, it can help dilate your eyes and help. And that was the one excuse, right? Yep. And then it got to where it was like, man, this could actually not only prevent rapid cell growth in like cancerous tumors, but actually possibly prevent them. And then in concentrated doses could possibly theoretically actually kill the cancer cells. And there's one guy that's been selling it for years in concentrated doses, high, more than 1,000 milligram concentrated THC. What is his name? I'm blanking on his name, but he's always claimed to have cured, like 99% of people that went to him with cancer and fatal diseases. And it's one of those things that like, you want to believe it, don't know for sure if it's true or not, the heck is his name's going to pop in my head. He's been around as long as I've been studying marijuana. Anyway, didn't work for a friend of mine, unfortunately, but I don't know if he was on the exact regimen. But right. The more that came out, though, the more I wanted everybody to know that it's possible that could help them. I'll try and make it a quick story.
Don't go quick. No. Take your time and tell me what you got to tell me. You don't have to be quick.
Okay, so I think you'll be moved by this. Maybe my evil ex, she had stage 3 colon cancer, right? And so at one time we were at this gathering. It was like it was an invited. All the patients are invited to go see someone on stage that's speaking. A little room full of us. Someone's up there giving a seminar about dealing with some of the side effects of the chemotherapy treatment, and specifically they're talking about diet. I wanted to go and check it out. She's I saw this little frail old lady, raise her hand, and she says, I'm having so much trouble eating. I got no appetite. And I'm just, anything I try to eat, I just throw up, and I just feel so weak and tired, like I'm wasting away. And the lady that works there says, well, there's little tricks that you can do to add calories to your food. You can sprinkle evaporated milk, on a lot of things, and you can get like powdered protein, maybe put some of that on top of what you're eating. And I raised my hand and I said, what about medical marijuana?
Right.
And she says, good. I'm glad that you brought it up. I'm not allowed to bring it up. This is at City of Hope, one of the number one cancer
not allowed
in California. In California, where it's legal, where there's dispensaries across the fucking street. I'm not allowed to bring it up But since you did, yes, there have been a lot of people that have gotten the great benefits from marijuana, including stimulating their appetite, helping them sleep at night, just giving them overall comfort. And I was like, what kind of fucking sick world are we in where we let these people suffer,
right?
Because of policy.
Wow.
I was disgusted. Wow. I almost joined their board of members. Like, I looked into it and was trying to, but I was too busy to really follow up with it. But I mean, I took that really personally and thought, you know, people got to know. People got to know.
Man, what a freaking shame. Like you said, the kind of world that we live in, that smoking pot is so politically incorrect that like a nurse or somebody can't even suggest it as a medicine to help somebody who's suffering and dying. You know what I'm saying?
In a fucking legal state too.
That's insane. See, me, I take kratom 3 times a day, and quite a bit of it. You know, I have no choice because I get these headaches. But I've been weaning myself down. But one of the things that does is makes my stomach kind of funky, and I don't eat enough. So I do enjoy a few hits of a joint. Not every day, but I might do it every day. I might start a couple hits of a joint, and boom, an hour later, I'm hungry and I'm eating, and I keep eating. It's nice to be full. It's nice for me to like finally be full when for the last couple of years, and just don't enjoy food anymore that much. And suddenly now I do. So this stuff, I'm sure this stuff has something to do with it because I've been eating better and feeling better. So it's the only thing I've changed in my diet. I started taking this, but less of the kratom. And I still feel good. I'm eating. So with you, like you're always a smoker, but like, did you get to a point where you had an injury or pain or found out CBD concentrate can help in some department? So you decided, I'm going to give this a shot, and it worked?
First time I remember that really crossing over into my life was I had broken my foot, and this lady, I didn't really even know who she was, but she wanted to send me some CBDs. She was from Charlotte's Web, and sent me CBD and said that there's been tests that prove that CBD actually helps bones heal better. Yeah. And I had never heard of that. I thought that was crazy. And I looked it up, and they had done some tests with some mice, and they broke their femurs, gave some of them CBD, some not. And the ones that were influenced, they had not only did their bones heal quicker, but it was stronger than the original ones. And then I started looking into it, and I found out like we have our own system inside of us that we use, and it's called the endocannabinoid system. And that's, you use it, you know, it changes your moods, it affects your metabolism, even your bone density growth. Like, it affects so much. It's basically like a messenger system throughout your whole body. And both THC and CBD affect our endocannabinoid system very similarly, because when you take it and you put it inside your body, they latch onto the receptors that we have in there. And then, you know, with the exception of like getting you stoned, much of the other benefits and good things that have been listed that people have reacted with from THC, they also get from CBD. And now we have CBG, CBN, and we're combining it, and we have a long way to go to study all of these.
It's relatively
but it's fascinating.
New.
And it's your own, and we find it's our own system. Like, it's something that we use. They actually break it down into 2 systems, one in our head and one in our body. And so like when you take that gummy, when it gets into your system, you know, the edibles obviously have to go through and be metabolized and get in your stomach. And then when it makes it onto the receptors of your endocannabinoid system, it basically is kind of like when you have your car hooked up to a machine at the garage, and it's doing a diagnostic test.
Yeah.
And it searches like everything and decides where you need it. You know, like it looks for inflammation. That was like one of the first things we learned about it. Everything's inflammation, though. You know, whenever you're hurt or sick or whatever, it usually ends up in inflammation. But and so that's why, you know, from headaches to cracked bones, you know, to stomach conditions, to whatever, you could be taking like the same thing, whether it's an edible, like the gummies or the tinctures under your tongue. And either way, it'll find, yeah, and it boosts your immune system as well. But that's one thing that we found that it does, which is why it's good to just have a level of it in your body anyway, if you so choose, like a lot of us believers do.
Man, it's fascinating that it's taken this long, because like you said, imagine if we had the ability to research this and the cannabinoids 25 years ago, 30 years ago, and said to the universities that specialize in medical, the U of M and stuff like that, and say, listen, here's a grant, research this stuff. All the students, the professors, and they all researched it for decades. Imagine what we could have created. Well, I'll tell you what we probably could have created: the cure for cancer, the cure for everything, probably. And then big pharma would kind of dissolve and go away. So I understand, like you said, it's all scumbaggery and money. That's it.
They did used to use it. It's only been prohibited for like less than the last couple hundred years. Like in the turn of the century, they started like really demonizing it. And it was for racial reasons. It really was. A lot of it was to drive Mexicans south. And to go after Black people. And when you do your research on it, as ridiculous as that sounds, that really was an agenda. It wasn't outlawed nationally till like 1936. It was this dude, Harry Anslinger, and he was the head of what would be the DEA, but it was the FBN back then. And he really, there's conversations he had with people that are documented where he's telling them,
he was a racist. He was a racist.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. And so it was just they he just told everyone all this bullshit about to demonize it. And it worked. It worked. Stuck, yeah. Right. If it's up, then it's stuck.
Exactly. So that's what happened.
And then by the way, if I can just tag on to that, sure. Gunner, in 1970, Richard Nixon said he was going to actually give it an honest study, and so he did, and when it came back, I think it was the Taft. When it came back, he didn't like the results because it says it's not addictive, it's not harmful, blah blah blah, and so. He temporarily put it as a Schedule I controlled substance, along with the most dangerous drugs we have. And now, 50 years later, it's still a Schedule I controlled substance, even though
federally,
even though the majority of Americans know that it's really not as dangerous as we were taught.
Heroin or coke, no.
Acid. Well, coke is actually a Schedule II, which means it's safer for you and for the environment. Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
It really is crazy. So I've just always been more than willing to share this stuff with people, and I knew it would be legal someday because I knew when all this gets out, the majority of people aren't going to stand for it.
Right. I can't believe and I'm smoking a joint, or I went camping the other day. And I brought weed with me. I had this jar. Everybody gives me weed. All my friends. One of them has a dispensary. So they give me. I have more. I haven't bought a joint, or nothing. So I got it in my car, sitting on the seat. And I'm just thinking in my mind, I'm like, I can't believe I got this big jar of weed just sitting under my seat right here. Because back when I grew up, you get caught with a big jar of weed, you're in trouble. It was like, and I can't smoke it in front of anyone. It's just insane that that it wasn't legal back then. And now it is. I'm from Michigan, so in Michigan it's completely legal. It's like a cigarette, and it's crazy. So,
don't have no doubt they are still arresting people and fucking their lives up over weed, man. Whenever it used to be like 800,000 people a year when things were getting better. People were like, 55% of Americans were thinking it should be legal. We're still putting like 800,000 people in prison, selling their houses, shooting their dogs, everything over the same shit that people are doing legally, in other states. So we got a little ways to go, but we're definitely moving in the right direction. And, having talks like this helps.
It does. Yeah.
Educate.
the people who are listening need to think about that. The federal government still classifies marijuana as a more dangerous drug than cocaine. Now this is the federal government. This is our government, the Lord and dictator of the land.
And meth, by the way, is also safer for you than marijuana.
That's so. The only reason, let me just break this down really quickly for you. The only reason ever that would be true and remain so is because telling the world that it's not a dangerous drug, keeping it controlled the way it is, it affects big pharma. Big pharma is the biggest money maker we have. This vaccine right now with COVID is making trillions of dollars. So when you have that much money, when you have billions to play with, you can essentially bribe, blackmail, threaten, whatever you have to do to keep things like marijuana a Schedule I controlled substance. When we all know, why would the Lord of our land, the federal government, ever in this time and age, still leave it classified as a Class 1 dangerous drug? That's an asinine, but that's our government, which is asinine. That's crazy.
What makes it really ridiculous is that it's never caused a fatality. Like as a straight result of just consuming the cannabis, there's not enough toxicity to actually cause fatalities. So that's how far off they are.
Yeah. And then on top of it, there's a ton of research going out there right there on CBD. Tons. Now, if you try to Google it, I'm sure you'll find lots of good studies and information. But see, like Google is kind of in cahoots with the government and all that. So if there is a very comprehensive study that's been done by like University of Michigan, they've studied 500 people over a period of 10 years and found out if we combine the cannabinoids in this way, it helps people, this way and that way and that way. What they do is they bury it under 10,000 hits on Google. So if you try to find it, Google it, you'll get 2.2 million results. Who's going to scroll through 10,000 results to get to that? They don't. So they have their own propaganda engine that keeps it pushed down, search engine optimization. The truth is they don't want you to know the truth. So everybody listening, this is the truth.
Yeah. It's always been that way. You just reminded me also, when Harry Anslinger was going around touring and he had that ridiculous movie, Reefer Madness. And he would show, and he showed that to parents. And told
kids
them,
jumping out the window.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. But I forgot about this though. When he went to New York, Mayor LaGuardia said, wait a minute, if I'm going to outlaw this dangerous new menace, I want to do my own tests on it. And this is like the early 40s, 41 maybe. He did his own test. The results came back. Same thing that Nixon would find out 30 years later. There's no evidence that it's growing, that it's taking over all the kids. Yeah. It's not addictive. It's not dangerous. If you smoke too much, you might just fall asleep. Yeah. And so of course, Harry Anslinger fucking took LaGuardia's records, threw them in the trash and buried them, and then stopped any future testing from being done on it, which is hence why we're in this situation right now, because of that asshole Harry Anslinger. Way back then, he outlawed any future testing on it. And there's been lawsuits, all along. In the 90s, 91, the Institution of Medicine in Boston was suing because they were saying, hey, if we can't grow our own weed at the college and study it. But finally we're there where we're learning a lot about it. But LaGuardia is a bit of a hero in my mind because of that, because of his free thinking and reasonability.
Yeah, dude, that's good knowledge. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm a geek at certain things,
Me and this too, is bro. Same way. I'm a geek all the way. Me and my wife are total like fact nerds, science nerds. That's what we do. Me and you, we might be in big bodies and look a certain way, be known for a tough guy. But a lot of people, well, at least me and him and people like us, we love to read. We love to get to the bottom of things, find the facts, use critical thinking and logic to understand things, and just read and understand. And so what we're trying to do is tell you too also, do that. Do some research. Find out about this. Try this stuff. Maybe it works for you. Everybody has some kind of ailment, that's bothering almost everyone. And if you try this, the research is there to back it up. But it's new. It's relatively new because the government has made this demonic thing out of it and won't unfederalize, make it illegal. And it's just asinine and stupid that they do that because, like you said, nobody's dying, nobody's jumping out of windows, kids aren't running around smoking weed like some meth. So look at what happens to people on meth, how they dissolve and destroy their life, and cocaine and heroin, all that. Class 2, but marijuana, a hemp, it's a plant. If you smoke it or ingest it, does nothing. No, it does nothing that'll make you crazy. What I'm saying, doesn't make you crazy or addicted, nothing. And it's sad, but
and so what CBD on the market is a compromise. That's the world leaders saying, okay, we can't keep the secret any longer. All these benefits about marijuana are getting out. And then, well, how about we legalize part of the plant? It's a compromise. When I talked to Jack Herer's wife a couple of years ago at the Jack Herer Awards in Las Vegas, I was like, man, can you believe, because he passed away, man, if Jack was around now to see how popular, the market is and stuff, huh? She said, he wouldn't stand for it. I said, what do you mean? And she said, he wouldn't stand for them separating CBDs from THC the way that Mother Nature intended. And I was like, damn, she's probably right. But I see it as baby steps. It's a compromise. And what it is getting the benefits without, worrying about being stoned, without worrying about failing a drug test at work. And so I'm all right with it. And I know, like I said, we're going to be adding different cannabinoids to different measurements as it's legal here and there. So that's what it is, though. It's a compromise. And so, but people can have a safe feeling taking CBDs if they got them at Walmart or the pharmacy or whatever, everywhere. If they get a good product, they don't have to feel like they're taking marijuana, and a lot of people are really worried because there's so much out there. Some of it is reported as being bullshit, and they don't know who to trust or whatever. Right. So that's why it's great. That's why it's great that I'm able to offer my product and say, look, I know for a fact. So answer the door, dogs. I know for a fact that I have. Can you still hear me over them? Yeah, that I have the best stuff anyway, and the CBD cream, bam. Right? Nice. Have you tried the cream? I
haven't, but I'm going to.
It is the best out of all the CBD pain creams, and I'm able to stand by that. And everyone that I send it to, they confirm it. Whether it's Kurt Angle, hey.
at least he listens.
Yeah, it was an Amazon package being dropped off, so they might keep barking until I open the door. Let me go open the door real quick.
Okay. Trying to figure if that's his girl in the painting back there. I think it is. Yeah, him and his girl.
They're good now.
They're good.
But yeah, but that's what. Hey, and honestly, hey, stop it. I would, even if my teacher to quit squirting, or I mean to quit barking.
Yeah.
Squirting every time she barks. She's a puppy, so. Yeah, when it's right, it's okay to bark. But I always tell her indoor voice.
Right. So one of the things. So tell them, people listening. Okay, two things. So one is what kind of ailments and things that CBD will affect. So people who might have certain things, what, like they have this or that or whatever, what's one of the more popular things? I know pain is one of them, and it works, and my wife likes it too. So I mean, we both are in a little bit of pain. So what's the thing? And then what like makes your product? I know it has a higher concentration. Is it a science? Is there science behind it, like laboratory testing, and they can combine it in a certain way to make it better?
So what it is, first off, I just want to add to your knowledge that you also have receptors on your skin that are local receptors. So like if your shoulder's hurting and you rub the pain cream on, that's actually the receptors in your cells actually are absorbing it, and then it's getting right into the localized area where you want it, as opposed to getting into your system and then going through that diagnostic, check like I was explaining earlier. So that's a different stand with the pain cream. But the pain cream, for instance, besides the high concentration, because I tried everybody's, I'm sampling everybody's and then trying to give them feedback. Some of them, even to endorse some, because I have some international collaboration going on, and one of them is like with India, one's with Canada, but they send me product. And I have to give them comments on them, before they have to meet my standards.
Right.
And then we're growing the company. And a lot of times they will send me something that I put it on. First off, it doesn't smell like anything. It has a texture almost like Crisco or something. And you put it on and it stays so slimy. I put some stuff on, and it stayed so greasy that an hour later I had to wash it off of my shoulder. Right. So when you put RVD CBD cream on, first off, it smells good. Even when you smell it, it's like it's everyone always comments like it's pleasurable, like you want to work with it. And then when you put it on, it doesn't leave any greasy residue, but it's loaded with menthol, which is so important. I wanted it to be like a mixture of icy hot with strong CBDs, because they're not icy hot, but biofreeze specifically. But anyway, the menthol, because you feel it work and you feel it penetrating, you feel it circulating the blood, you feel it soothing, you get that cold burn, and it makes the pain go away. I mean, at least temporarily. If my shoulder's hurting, I put it on. Just a few seconds later, I get that first feeling, and then a few seconds later, it feels like almost like the wind's blowing, like a little coolness on it, and it's like, damn, the pain's gone, at least for a while. And of course, that's circumstantial depending on where you're putting it and stuff. And all the other product is just, I test everything, and I compare it to a lot, because I have a lot of experience, and now that's part of what I do is just a lot of research. People send me boxes and boxes of stuff, whether it's usually it's for collaborating, and we're always adding new products. Also, I am actually doing THC as well. Hopefully, starting this week or next week in California. Any THC products have to be licensed and grown in each state. So you have to work with a lot of different people, although big companies, have network platforms, but California and Oklahoma to follow, and then Nevada, and a lot more people buy THC, like pre-rolls, than they do CBD when it comes to dispensaries and stuff like that. Yeah. But the CBDs are a lot, they are received a lot friendlier to be carried outside of the dispensaries. And inside the dispensaries, they do a small percentage of the sales, because most people that are in there are there to get, to get this. They want to get stoned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I want to do my best to get this out there and then get it in places where people will see it, make it visible, and make them, aware of the benefits. And I'm thinking in my head, I got all these ideas while you're talking. I'm like, I got friends in Detroit who own like chains of liquor stores and stuff, and I could see your CBD sitting there, man. Just a little sign, RVD CBD, a little display, boom, right there. Try it, and maybe in the beginning you do a kind of a loss leader where you give a nice discount or something where you don't make a ton, but get people to see that it works and it's real and it's legit. And, then they'll buy all the other products, and then maybe even, the THC stuff too, if you get involved. Michigan is legal. So I got some friends who own dispensaries here. So I could talk to them, man. Maybe I got one guy's got a $45 million a year operation. So it's a big deal. And I think I could get him. He has, he manufactures the THC part. He's like a mad scientist, but he has the dispensary.
Totally.
So he has,
Perfect.
you know, he's all set up in place, you know, and like I said,
He'd be a partner.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't, I mean, I like to be a sales rep. That's kind of how I feel. Like,
well, you are, dude.
Yeah,
you are. That's why I gave you a code Gunner, which is already active right now. So, you know, from here on out, if you do, you know, mention it to anybody and tell them to put in, no, it's Gunner 10, and they get a 10% discount if they put that in. I activated that before this interview. And
good.
Let me tell you this. When I get to the reviews, it's so rewarding knowing that I'm helping so many people. And a lot of people don't write reviews. They'll tweet me or they'll put it on Facebook. And I'm always like, man, I wish you would put it on the website review so everyone could know. But it feels so good. If it wasn't for the fact that it would be shitty business and I would be taking advantage of it. If it wasn't for that and it was a different world, I would totally have all this out there for free if I wasn't making any money on it, just because, like I said, I've always wanted to make marijuana more accessible for people who it can help. And that's what I'm doing. I mean, it's business. So I wouldn't want to not get paid and have someone else get paid. But without that factor though, you know, for me, it'd be like changing a law so they could have it. It'd be that, you know, like boom. Damn.
That's dope. That's dope and very noble. And I appreciate that. And I believe that. And I respect that a lot. You're a guy you've been wanting to get it out there for a long time. And you put your name on this one. Obviously, you put your name on it for a reason. It has to be good. Is it the best? Maybe it's the best there is. I know he put his name on it, and he's the guy who trained.
My opinion, it is.
And then that means a lot. Here's a guy who's a professional wrestler and spent his life getting beat up and beaten up, and he is a guy who tested all this stuff himself, human guinea pig, to see what works and what doesn't. And this worked, so he decided, yes, I will go into business with you. I will put my name on this product and I will promote this product. And even like you said, of course you want to make a buck because, you know, it's business. If he doesn't, somebody else will. But at the end of the day, his mission has always been just to get it out there so people can understand and know the benefits. And so, you know, this is a kind of a miraculous product. And I'll make sure, dude, I'll pump it around, push it everywhere. I got some ideas. I'll contact some people, but got
that. Not just a wrestler, but a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's a Hall of Fame, right?
Bam.
I want to wear that when I see you. When I see you next time, let me wear that ring for me. I might try a backflip. And break my neck.
Yes. Dude, so much good stuff is going on. And we are talking to somebody about Michigan, but you know, what I've learned so far being in this for like 2.5 years is there's a lot more talk than there is action.
Oh,
you know?
man.
Like, yeah.
Dude,
but eventually I will be. Eventually I will be in Michigan for sure because I'm from there. So of course I got to go there and promote my product and help my Michiganders out.
Yeah. I know what you're saying about that. I've had like 10 different people reach out to me and wanted me to connect this person to that person. Maybe I get involved in this and that. You know, blah blah blah. Everybody's talking, nobody's doing, and that's why I don't really follow through on none of them except this. I just don't pay attention. I don't follow. I'm like, listen, show me the money. You gotta go in. You want to go into this business with this guy who's got a $45 million operation. You got to come with something to the table. You know what I'm saying? Not a dream and a hope. You have a business plan and prospectus and outline and a market analysis and all that. So they don't, you know, you tell them that and they kind of balk and walk away. But you're not a walking type of guy. So you got it done, bro. And
I got a couple of really good partners. You know, I couldn't handle all this shit myself because I'm always too busy with people coming at me from different directions anyway. And so now they're helping me handle a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff associated with RVD CBD. And some of it really isn't, or we're just doing product placement like in video games and stuff like that, where normally it wouldn't be part of that, but since I'm part of it anyway, you know, and got a couple action figures coming out, all kinds of stuff. So
that's cool.
And with WWE, I usually don't see what I have, and send me an email and say, hey, by the way, you know, we're putting this out. So I didn't even know. Katie showed me. Oh, I guess I saw a fan had a Rob Van Dam Hall of Fame shirt, and I was just like, dude, I didn't even know they had those. Where'd you get that? I'm looking at it. It's always been that way. That's how I saw all my action figures.
Yeah.
And, I'd sign them, and then I'd be like, wait, I never saw this one. And then eventually I said, fuck it, I got to have them all. It's me. So
Right.
I collect my own.
Yeah. That's dope, man. Well, congratulations on that. I can only imagine what that would feel like to have my own action hero. But I can relate to what you're saying about all the messages, people that are thanking you for that. I get that with my books a lot. So I'm like, and I have good reviews and a lot of reviews on my books, but for every person who writes a review, 100 people don't. But I get a lot of people who will message me and they'll be like, yo, man, I love this book. Best book I ever read, man. This, that, and I love it, man. When's volume 3 going to come out? Blah, blah. And I'm like, did you leave a review? And they're like, no, but I will. And some do, some don't. But it feels good. It feels good when I get messages. Dude, I have gotten some of the most incredible messages. I mean, like one girl had her brother was in the hospital with terminal cancer. She's like, he wasn't moving, he wasn't doing nothing. Now I read your book and I thought it was so good. I'm like, I want to give it to him to read. She's like, next day I came back and he was himself. He was talking about the book. He was bringing up these things like this. He was like himself again. Like your book brought him back to life. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, that's
great. Man.
Yeah. Pretty incredible.
That's fucking, it's like a superpower. I'm going to start screenshotting those messages I get and just posting them when I get it.
Yeah, do that.
I don't know why I don't.
I do. I have the same thing.
Yeah.
I've done it before, and I feel like some people might think it's kind of arrogant of me to do that, or they might think it's fake. So I don't do it. But with yours and the CBD, there's a product involved. And so, it's nothing to do with arrogance. This has nothing to do with, and why would you, you would never do that, a fake one. So,
yeah. So it's RVDCBD.com. That's wherever you're at. And of course we're not going to be mailing any THC products. We can't. That's going to be a whole different venture. Different everything. Same spirit though, and we'll be discussing that as it grows. But RVDCBD.com and use promo code Gunner10. Gunner and the number 10.
So I'm just gonna I'll put the link in the description of this video. I'll put in the top. I'll put in the comments on the top. RVDCBD.com. And the reminder of the promo code Gunner10. Make sure to check it out. It saves you 10%. They have. I don't have my glasses on. What is the little? What is this little thing? What are those?
So that's pain cream. That's like what I got here.
Yep.
So one thing I can teach you real quick with these, when it gives the strength, that is per entire jar. So all of these proportionately have the same strength. A 4-ounce jar has 3,000 milligrams of CBD, but a half the size jar will have half as many milligrams.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So 1,500 milligrams, in other words, in the 2-ounce.
Well, I've heard people say, I've heard women say the CBD helps with their menstrual cramps, and they swear by it. And I've also heard people say it helps them like as a mood stabilizer with anxiety and stress and depression. And they take their CBD regularly on a regular regimen, and it helps them like stabilize in it. And so if it's doing all that, clearly there's something really good going on in these things, and they're working, because I've met so many people, and I'm one of them, my wife. So you guys make sure to check it out, and check it out.
It's cool. Yeah, they're like, it's natural. But it's not, it's external, and it mimics like what your own body does, and tells your own body what to do as far as like how to heal and what to fix and stuff.
It's miraculous. That's freaking miraculous.
It's like adding to like what you already have the ability to do. And,
it's basically taking your own immune system or the coping mechanism of your body and enhancing it, giving it fuel, and feeding those receptors. They bind to it. Suddenly it deals with pain. It deals with it. It's a miracle. And then the research is out there, you guys. So read the research.
And the side, really isn't much. The only thing I ever hear from anybody is I think you said, no, you were talking about kratom. But anyway, the only thing anyone ever says is that sometimes people say it makes them a little sleepy. So they take it at night. If you can call that a downside, I don't know. But you don't have to worry about ending up at the hospital or overdosing, or even putting anything toxic in your system. You don't have to worry about, it's all natural. Hey, natural. By the way, brother, are you familiar with kratom tinctures?
I've never taken any, but I'm familiar with them.
Oh, okay. Because I take them and I love them because the powder tastes nasty, and I had to really learn to deal with the powder. But once I got these tinctures, like it's pretty much all I stick to, and they don't taste good either. But it's just more like an alcohol burn under the tongue.
Yeah. I mean, I actually want to start taking them because I hate the powder. It's so bad. I make this like warm sludge and just I chug it down. Ugh. But it works so well. It works so well for my headaches. Like right now, after I get off this call, my headache's going to be pounding, but I already took kratom an hour or two ago. So like an hour ago. So I'm not going to take another dose. I'll just, have a headache. It'll simmer down, but I am going to take one of these as soon as I tell him, and it will work. I will sleep better. I will sleep deeper, and less pain. And I wake up in the morning, I won't have like a pounding headache. I'll barely even feel it. So that in itself is miraculous. So that's why I'm doing it. Well, man, anything else you want to say?
No, just this is also research. Like I'm planning on having these available sometime soon. As I say, we're expanding. Yep, we're expanding. Into other cannabinoids like Delta 8's a little. They're getting some heat right now, but anyway, firm believer in this as well. So hope to have the tinctures available with RVD on the label pretty soon, so you got the right stuff. Right. RVDCBD.com. Dude, that's it. Follow me at the Real RVD, and enjoyed it as always. Awesome man. Interview.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you. And the final note is I wouldn't have you on with this, and I wouldn't be a brand ambassador if I didn't believe in it. So check it out, try it, give it a shot. It's not it's not expensive. It's worth trying. It could change your life, and if it works, boom, you found a natural remedy for pain, depression, anxiety, menstrual cramps, all these different things that the government has tried to tell you it's bad. They've been saying it for years. Finally, it's been able to break out from this stigma and this BS, and people can use it and try it, research it, and it's working. So make sure you check it out. And with that, I think this will be it, man. We'll always do another one in the future. But
if you love it, give us a good review on the products page on the website. That'd be awesome. Tell everybody. Tell Gunner if you
tell me. I'm going to leave that in the thing. Make sure to leave a review, honest review, at RVDCBD.com. Make sure you use promo code Gunner10. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
I'm going to go actually eat me one of them gummies right now. Get ready for bed.
Yeah. Good luck with that headache.
Thank you, brother. God bless, man.
Yeah. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.
Yep. And he's tried every product and every brand, and finally he came across one that worked really well for him. He actually wanted to partner up with them, and he did. So now he has his own brand, RVD CBD, and it works really well. I like the gummies myself, and they help. I wake up in the morning with less pain. I sleep really well. Essentially, they're very almost miraculous. The research is there. Feel free to Google it and look it up. Go to his website, RVD CBD, and use promo code Gunner10 to save 10% off. Trust me, stuff works. Check it out. Spend a minute, spend $1. Trust me, you'll be glad you did.
We in here now.